All right, here we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for coming into the live stream. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. And let's get into the news. Let me show you the world and what's happening today. First thing I want to show you is obviously the Dow, okay? Let's start where, and this is why I cover the Dow. I've been covering the Dow every day, honestly. I'm one of the more crypto guys that just wants to give you a view of the whole market in its entirety. I always have the Dow Jones, and then today it disappears. Really weird. Okay. Just waiting for everyone to get in. What's going on here? Hold on one second. Okay. Wow. I'm speechless. I'm a little speechless. We are getting into the oversold area here. Audio busted, can't hear. There it is. What do you think will happen to the economy if Sanders becomes president? Honestly, I think it's, I don't like to get too political here because then people think I want, or, you know, they think, I found if you say anything now, I'm an objection person with I'm an objective guy with a very open mind. So I'm like a libertarian, right? I'm going to talk about something, and if it looks like I'm slightly putting Trump in a good light, I'm going to get people hating on me. If it looks like I'm putting Sanders in a good light, I'm going to have people hating on me. I don't like to get too political on my channel, honestly, and that's not really where I stand. I have some views, but I really just, I keep them to myself when it comes to politics. I hope the best person wins for the job, honestly. One thing I do know is I think a lot of people with a lot of money could relocate or try to put their money somewhere else into a safe haven. I'm all about universal health care, and I think we should have things like that. What will the taxes do? What happens? You know, I mean, we go over all these different things. So we'll see. But I appreciate the comment, but I'm not there yet to be really diving into politics. I'm really just here to do the fundamentals and talk about the numbers. Okay, so we have the Dow Jones Industrial here, down 846 points. I woke up this morning at 7 a.m. and my wife said, Sam, I think the futures look bad. It's funny, she told me about the futures, and then I started looking. I said, wow, I knew we were in for a doozy today. You could just tell right off the bat. How many days has the Dow dropped like this? Probably only like in my lifetime. This may be like the fourth or fifth time. You know, there was Black Monday, 1987. We had the 08 crisis, and then we had a few weird crashes last October, you remember, where we reset a little bit. Let's see, like here's a big crash one day. We went from 26, we dipped down to 25, and basically a 4-hour chart, so that was in a day or something. So that was pretty crazy. Let's check us on the daily. On the daily, we're not even into the oversold region, which would be really past this dotted line, so that means we have more downside possibly. As you can see, my projection is that the Dow will go, I have the Dow basically retracing all the way down into this area, which is 13,000. And the reason why is it's the golden pocket. And when the stock goes up this much, any instrument goes up this much, well, you do see 61% to 70% retracements in this area. So that's just, you know, it will be completely normal, honestly, for that to happen. Yeah. I mean, a correction was due, but we also have the virus going on. A lot of people aren't sure. Is it the virus? Is it a correct? Would this have happened anyway? I don't think so. I definitely think the virus accelerated anything that would have happened. Also, the market is not too healthy right now. Yes, Trump just came out with a speech and he said that we have the highest employment rate, that the middle class is gaining more percentage than the 1%. A lot of things are going on like that, but it also has a lot to do with money being printed. Money is being printed. It makes it easy to borrow money. It makes it easy for businesses to hire more people. But what happens is eventually those loans and the interest rate, they're basically printing, right? And then eventually it's all kind of tied to the stock market and to the bond market. So what looks good outside, like right now, the stock market isn't as healthy as it seems. It's basically just taking all the hot air in a, you know, so to speak, that's getting blown from the Federal Reserve, which is the monetary circulation supply. And that's just being inflating into the stock market. Also, this was a rising wedge that had a 68% chance of a break to the downside, and we broke up from it. And now we're breaking down. Let's give a little like closer picture. I'm going to zoom into the Dow just to look at it like where we are right now and what I see happening. One thing I see is a double top, okay? Double top right there. Double tops are indications of the ends of bull runs. You always see a double top, sometimes a triple top. I can show you the Bitcoin chart. Let's go look at Bitcoin, and I can show you what happened when Bitcoin was on its parabolic rise and what eventually happened to it. So here was the 08, the 2017 boom, right? And here you see, you know, a top, another top. See, this is a double top. You can see it. It makes like a W or an M. You know, you can see the M. And yeah, it's funny. You take the double top, you go like this. You take this M area from the neckline to the top of an M. Then you go to the bottom of one of the M's. And look, that was the retracement. It almost hit it exactly. I mean, I'm a little off. Sometimes it's not perfect, 70, 80%. But that's how traders kind of look and use algorithms, and then they actually plug those into bots. So a lot of these things play out the way they're supposed to. Let's go back to the Dow after I showed you that, and let's see where we think we fall in the short term. In the short term, just on technical analysis alone, which may not hold us too well in a black swan event like this today, but we'll do the best we can to try to give you guys a picture of where we're going and try to give you guys some, you know, calm clarity to what's happening today. So here we have a double top. So we would take this line, bring it to the top, bring it to the M, and you could see us going all the way down to 27.6. So it's a little more downside. We already kind of made it a little bit. Amazing, amazing. Look at the big red bars. Look at the fallout. It's pretty nuts today. Okay, what was my trade and what was I doing? Okay, I was a contrarian trader going against the market. I was buying gold, which is basically like shorting the Dow. You can either buy gold or short the Dow. They kind of work similar in similar patterns. We got overbought on this JNUG ETF. Amazing though. I was calling it here. I said this was the consolidation. You can see we bounced. I said, you know, this would be a good place to pick up JNUG around this 50 region. This was back in November. And then I noticed how much this looked similar here. Bounce, the bounce. We had the three bounces. It looked just like this consolidation. So I drew my green box and I said, this is where you should be accumulating JNUG. If you were watching any of my live streams, I would bring this up every single day. Even though this is a crypto channel, I believe trading gold is similar to trading Bitcoin. I trade Bitcoin and gold, and there's a reason, because they have more of a smaller supply than money, the US dollar, any type of currency that you could encounter in the world. I think they're both the hardest form of money, and I think Bitcoin's even harder than gold because it's more easy transferable, and it has all the same things that gold has. I'm going to find a chart on my next live stream that shows you what is hard money. And it actually puts a checklist next to all the different things. And it shows you that Bitcoin is the hardest form of money we have right now in existence. Okay, so I built this bilateral triangle, which had a 50% chance of breaking up or down. But we knew with all the things going on with the economy, it probably would break up. How do you find that target? You take the base of this triangle here, okay? You bring it up to here. And that's basically the short-term projection was $103. So am I a magician that it hit 105 right here? Look, on my white line. Where did I get these white lines? I looked at these here. Here's a peak. Here's a peak. And I decided that those were resistance. Okay. You can also see here we peaked and hit this. So you use these. You look to the left into the history of the stock, and you can see where the support and resistance will fall. I mean, I nailed it. Like, how could I have put my white line? This white line has been here for weeks. If you watch any of my live streams, I've been calling this. Now I'm going to make another prediction, or basically just show you what the chart says. I'm not making a prediction. I'm showing you what the chart says. I like to look like a magician, but honestly, I'm just reading TA, and I've been doing it for a long time. I hear sirens more than I ever have. How many sirens did we count during the live stream? There was one, okay? There's one. Usually I live stream, we can go back to my other live streams and see that there's maybe only 1 or 2 sirens. So let's see how many sirens we get now. I've been saying I've been hearing more sirens in Queens ever since the coronavirus has been floating around. Well, let's find out if that's true. You guys probably just heard that one siren. Anyway, back to this. We're in this bilateral triangle, or this basically ascending triangle. This is a nice 68% chance of a break to the upside. How did I get this figure? I took this pole, which was the base of this triangle. I moved it up here. Boom. I think we're going to hit $128 for JNUG, so that's still 30% gains coming to you. I put this green box hoping that JNUG comes back into this region. I'm not sure now. I think we have a support and resistance flip going on right here at 89.02. I think that will be a place for a bounce. If you want to get down, there's a chance we get back at 89. Who knows, though? Because, look, we went back to 97 and we just got bought back up. There's a lot of fear in the market right now. People are going to go to safe haven assets, and that's going to be JNUG, gold. Let's look at gold on the day. I said it was in this bull flag. I've been predicting this, showing you guys this stuff, and it's just simple TA and patterns. Just simple TA and patterns, folks. If you want to get a pattern, you can go to, let me see here. If you want to start beginning to learn how to trade, we get back at 89. I want to show you my channel. And I'm going to show you one of my first videos that I ever played, or ever made on my channel. It's crazy how channel grows. You just keep moving and look at all these videos. Okay, where are we? Charting works. Get a free chart, right?
Crypto is life. If you came to my channel, then you're already doing the right thing.
Oh, my hair has grown a lot since
break
then.
To the upside. When I look at this, and if you're in the comment section below, tell me what you guys think. Is it a bullish pennant or is it a symmetrical triangle? I have to be honest, it looks more like a symmetrical triangle to me. So there's the option.
So I use all of these patterns: a bullish rectangle, a bullish pennant, a falling wedge, continuation patterns, meaning if it's coming up into the pattern, it usually goes up out of the pattern. You have a 68% chance in these patterns. So you play the patterns the best you can. That's all you can be as a trader, is create a plan for the upside and for the downside. And then you execute on what happens with the market. You can't be a soothsayer or predict that you know every single thing, but what you can do is just slowly learn. If you want access to this chart, I have a link right here that anyone can go to and then hit download. And you can download this chart and start learning how to do technical analysis. But this is really where it all begins, is watching these patterns. So I identify the patterns now because I see them. So these here, look at these. These are called bull flags, okay? And if we go back to the pattern, it's basically this bull rectangle here, kind of mixed with a pennant. See what I'm saying? And it's a bull flag. We call that flagging in trader terms, okay? Like, this is flagging. So I saw a flag right here. I took this. You take the measured move of the pole, and you bring it up. And we almost made it to my target, which was at 1578. But we hit 1556, and we had a little bit of a retracement. Now we have a new floor for gold. I say here at 1447, like that's the line in the sand. I don't say we break that ever. You know, I think that's going to be actually the new bottom for gold. Just like here, we had our bottom here at 1186 back in August of 2018. We are on the daily, so this is showing you daily candles. We're very overbought though here with gold. I'm wondering what happens in a black swan event if gold just can get pinned up here, and you know. Thank you, XUP Muser. Appreciate that, my friend. So, yeah. Then we see here we have a bull flag. I took this pennant here. It was the flag. I brought it up here. I said gold is going to go to 1,700 an ounce. I could see that happening. We hit 1688. We were $12 away from my target. And I still think that we'll probably dip and eventually surpass my target. But this is how I'm getting this. I'm not a magician, folks. I'm just studying. I'm doing my due diligence. And over time, you start seeing the patterns. You know, you memorize these after seeing them over and over again. And look, it's only about what, 612. It's only 15 patterns, right? I mean, there's other ones too, but these are the main ones that you can really use. And a lot of people are using this. All the main traders are using this. So this is what you want to actually look out for. Okay, so I basically was pushing all my subscribers. Again, this is not financial advice. Please get yourself a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Look at the disclaimer in my description. But if you're entertained by trading and you want to trade with me, or you like my calls, check it out. I basically was calling gold here between JNUG, which is a 3 times bull ETF on gold, and I was calling it around here at 68. I was also calling it around here around 55. I was presenting a buy opportunity. I then want to show you that I have this giant candle, another giant triangle. So you can see that I'm just drawing triangles. I'm creating the base of the triangle with a line. Basically, I'm following that, and then I'm using that to judge where the instrument or the stock will go. So you can see here we had 78% gains when we were in the bottom of this triangle. So that's a nice come up really quick, if you ask me. Yeah, but what I see is it's going to go to 129, 128. From there, I'm not sure. This is a call I'm just kind of seeing happen, and I think it could take till maybe end of April, May, something like that. That's when we could see this starting to happen. Okay. Also, to my subscribers, do you like me in the box here with the nice fireplace and the wave, or do you like me over here on the right with no background at all? Tell me what you guys like. I think people were liking that. I got a lot of laughs and talk about the waves and the fireplace. So just let me know. I'd like to know what you guys think in the comments section. Okay. How come I be so happy in such a strange time? Well, you know what? You always have to remain content and happy in your life, right? No matter what's going on. Because God gave you a blessing to live here and to experience this wonderful earth. So no matter what happens, no matter how crazy it gets, we all have to, pull it together. Okay. Any trades that I'm looking at? I am looking at Atom. You know, I like to trade Atom a lot. So let's see what's going on with Atom right now. So it was kind of in this rising wedge that it broke out of. Let's go back to the 4-hour on Atom. I think we got an SR flip. Like, look, we came up here, we broke through, we had a hard time, boom. So this line right here is 460. I feel like that's kind of like the new bottom. Anytime I put a green box, that's accumulation. So if you see a green box, that's when I was telling you, hey, I think you should get Atom. And that was between 381 and 420, this area here. We have hit this 5. We've had issues getting, we crossed 5 here. We came back down. We first got to 477, but you see we have higher highs. Higher highs. This is the first time we had a lower low though compared to here. This was very close, but we had higher lows, higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher low. This was not as high. This is a lower high, a lower low. And now we have another lower high. Could this be the double top that begins a retrace for this and starts its kind of coming down? And do we have to find a place to buy? I do have a Fibonacci tool pulled on this. I see my golden pocket here in this region, in the 340 region, 343. I like this asset, and I don't know if it will come back to that region. But if it does, that'll be an amazing time to accumulate. We do see how we have a double top forming, which I just talked about that with the DOW and with Bitcoin. So there's a chance. I'm laying off the trades right now. I'm just holding long on a Bitcoin trade in at like 9,700. I'm just seeing if I can scalp a little bit off that. I'm not going crazy. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing on the 4-hour. See our support and resistance. I like to see Bitcoin not going down with the DOW. Uncorrelated asset there, folks. There's been a lot of days where the DOW goes down and then Bitcoin goes down as well. I think because of the Black Swan event, I think people are going to be just kind of hanging out right now. Bitcoin is down 2% though. It did take a hit. It was up at like 98.50 last night. So, okay, so we have our first line of support here at 8,300. We have another line of support at 91.50, and we have another line. We seem to be consolidating here. This would be a nice place to accumulate Bitcoin. I'm going to draw a green box. This would be a nice place to accumulate Bitcoin, in my opinion. Here and here. We're getting saved. This is poking up the 21-day moving average. It's about to cross the 50. Again, we always want to see the 21, the 50, the 80, the 100 in a line like this. See, when Bitcoin's going up, they're all on a nice line. And here we got a cross. This is basically similar to a golden cross. The 50 crossing the 100, the 21 crossing all of them. So that's a nice place to be in. That's a nice position to have there. That's what you want to look for. Looks like we're going to stay above that. We don't want to see this white line cross the yellow line. That means the 21-day moving average would cross the 200-day moving average. So right now we're seeing right here, if you can zoom in on this, if I could take price action away, but you can see the white line is curving up. Looks like it's about to hit. And look, we have a higher low. So we came down, higher low, higher high, higher low. Beginning of a new trend? This is very possible. Like so. So this is my new trend line. It does coincide all the way back to here. Something like this. Boom, 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 boom. So that's looking good. Let's see if we have any patterns at play. A little strange, more than normal. We are in this channel, a lower channel here. Okay. But to me, it is a falling wedge, which is a 68% chance of a break to the downside. A good place to accumulate Bitcoin will be here at 9,500. Basically, it would come back into this 95 region, maybe a wick down, hit this trend line. So that's something I'm going to say that's kind of stands out to me. Is if we can get back right here, I would go long for Bitcoin in this place. And then we could see if we could basically get kind of this target here. Once we do break out somewhere in here, sending us to 10.55, which would be a beautiful, healthy retrace. And then we could come back down to this 10.19. And then it would be nice if, see this resistance here? If this becomes new support, I would like to see basically this 10.170 range become new support. This is this is like basically my short-term idea for Bitcoin. Now, if I did buy Bitcoin here at 9,500, I would have a stop loss at like 92 or maybe right underneath this support here, 89. Not a lot of risk here. So it's like, say you put 10 grand in Bitcoin. I would put a stop loss here of like, at the very most 3%, right? 10% would be 1,000. So you're risking 300. But what are you trying to gain? You're trying to gain 1,100 because you'd be up. So you're risking 330 to gain $1,100. So to me, that's a good trade because it's a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio. You always want to make sure that your stop is within, 5-to-1, 7-to-1, 2-to-1 at the very best. Never 1-to-1. You never really want to risk 10% to gain 10%. If that's what you're doing, that's, in my opinion, it's not a good trade. So when you trade, it's all about confluence, okay? You're looking for the MACD. You're looking for a bullish move on the MACD, meaning I can show you here. See right here where this blue line crossed the red line, and boom, the price action went up, okay? We were also very low on the RSI. The RSI is the relative strength index. I'm sorry if I'm redundant to some of my followers. I know you guys know this, but new people watch these videos every day. The RSI is relative strength index. It's showing you the momentum of a move through an algorithm, telling you how strong the move is and the potential of the populace, like what they're doing. For instance, when it goes up a lot, you get what's called overbought, meaning there's not many people left to buy on average. Like they know how many people go in and go out, unless some crazy event happened out of nowhere and people just started pouring in. And even then, the instrument will tell you, like the main players, a lot of the money is in now. So it really, once it gets this high, it really has nowhere else to go but down. Look, we got this high, we went down. We got this high, we went down. We came back, we went down again. We got this high, we went down. We got this high, we went down. We're in a good place right now because Bitcoin is resetting on the RSI, especially here on the 4-hour and comparative to this. Let's look at it on the daily. What do I mean when I'm saying the 4-hour from the daily? Well, these candles all represent a time frame. Okay, if I plot myself on a candle, I'm gonna get what is the open, the high, the low, and the close. So if you look at the upper right here, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm going to move my mouse to a candle. But if you look at the upper right, when I do that, you'll see we opened at 9,801. We had a high of 10,194. We had a low of 9,787. And we closed at 10,164, up 3% on this candle alone. So each of these candles is a 4-hour time frame. Now I could hit the daily, and it would turn every one of these candles into a daily time frame. So here we can see our bottom at 69. It looks like we hit it twice and came out. That looks like I think that's going to be our bottom. I don't think we go lower than that. We had our nice bottom here at 3,100, 31. That would have been the greatest place to buy as much Bitcoin as possible. And look how oversold we were. Nowhere in the history of Bitcoin were we that oversold. Okay? You see what I'm saying here? So you always want to buy Bitcoin when it's below the white line. Almost every time you did that, you would have made a good deal of money. Not just a little, but a good deal. Even here, we're on the white line. You would put you in at 3,400, and you could have ridden this. This is the huge 2017 all the way up to 19,008. I think this chart says we hit 19,790. Some charts did hit 20,000, so we'll see. Also, we're seeing the MACD kind of coming out of the bear. This is curving, which is bullish sign. It's kind of similar to here where it's curving. Go back to another place where it's curving and we're on the red. The red is basically halfway done. A lot of the moves in the green come from the white and the green part. So right here, see, this is where it's consolidating. It's not perfect on the daily, but like right here, see, we're turning white and this is kind of boom, and we started to move up. So we're in a falling wedge, which breaks out 68% of the time. We're getting a curve here on the MACD, which looks like this blue line may want to start turning and then going across the red line in the near future. And we also have room here on the RSI. You want to be above 50. We're at 51. We just need a little bit of a bounce and then head back up into the old oversold territory. What I'd like to see is we kind of move up a little not too fast, but a little faster, push the momentum to 10.8. 10.9 maybe, talks of 11,000, and then the shorters will come in, and I just want to see us rest back here at 10.191. If that could create the new bottom, I'd really like to see us not go below 10,000 anymore. But that's what I see happening for Bitcoin. Oof, stock market plunges on coronavirus news. Apple loses key support amid nearly negative 7% dive, man. Story continues. Stock market plunges on coronavirus. Apple loses 7%. The stock market plunged early Monday as the coronavirus continues to spread outside of China. The Dow Jones Industrial Average crashed nearly 1,000 points in today's stock market before pairing losses. Apple stock market crumbled nearly 7%. And we'll get back to this before we leave the stream. We'll get back. This week, key earnings results include Chinese leaders Baidu, NetEase, Palo Alto Networks, and Virgin Galactic. Meanwhile, Advanced Micro Devices, Nvidia, and Tesla slashed lower amid the Dow Jones sell-off. Also, though, Tesla's only down 5%, and it's still holding in the 800 range. So Tesla's still holding pretty strong, which is pretty interesting for me to see. It's almost like correlating. I think a lot of people that are into Tesla are kind of like, conspiracy theorists. Like if you got into Nikola Tesla and you know who he is, it means you did a lot of metadata, a lot of outside research to come to the conclusion of who Nikola Tesla was. They don't teach him in school. Only down 5% at 850.50 though. Only down 5%. I mean, after big moves that it's been taken, we see it on the daily. It was very overbought. So look how long a stock can stay above. So we can just so that's interesting. So when we get that's basically, see this right here? This is forbearing for what will happen with JNUG. Because JNUG's approaching this area. But as people just keep buying gold, we could just keep doing this. And every time we go down, we just kind of flat, and then we got flat up, flat up, flat up. I do think my prediction for JNUG at 128 is going to happen. I think it's pretty much a guarantee, which is, who knows? But that looks, nothing is guaranteed in trading, but this looks very promising. If you want 30% in the next 2 months, you pop 10 grand in here, 100 grand, and make yourself $30,000. That's going to be a pretty interesting move. Okay, I just want to see what they're saying out here a coronavirus black swan event could spark gold rally. This is on the 18th, right? Now we're sitting here on the 24th, so almost a week ago. And yeah, I mean, I guess it wasn't that easy to say these things, but in the capital markets, the term black swan is not to be taken lightly unless you're a bullish gold trader. Then it's time to get heavy on precious metals. The coronavirus is putting a mixed martial art-like stranglehold on the markets, and if it turns into a black swan event in China or other parts of the world, it could spark a gold rally. For gold really to move, it would be some kind of exogenous shock, which might push it higher. Ronak O'Connell of International FC Stone, head of the market analysis for the EMEA and Asian regions. Gold has been mirrored in a long range bound price movement, currently standing at about 1580 per ounce. However, a black swan event could break gold prices free. Could break. See, they doubled me up. They messed me up. Since events are by definition difficult to predict, but we can think of a few possibilities, said Capital Economics Head of Global Economic Service Jennifer McEwen. A lot of Irish people here, O'Connell, McEwen. And Assistant Economist Bethany Beckett. We have long warned about the risks to Chinese property sector, related particularly to high levels of debt. Yeah, Hong Kong right now is about to crash HSBC. I said it here, HSBC may crash in 2020 because they're overextended in the Hong Kong real estate market, and that's going to take a huge hit right now. Also, the luxury market is taking a huge hit. A lot of these Chinese were making a lot of money. They were coming to New York and buying luxury apartments. Real estate agents had a meeting every other day selling another apartment. I've heard now that no one has any appointments. These people are buying everything. The luxury real estate market is taking a hit. Might be a good time to get something at a good price. You may want to wait for the whole market, though, to crash even worse, right? Social media erupts over Olympians rally. The famous 1980 American ice hockey team, which defeated the Russians on their way to the Olympics, is under fire after appearing at a Trump rally. That's funny, man. Wow. It's weird. Gold hits 7-year high amid ongoing coronavirus concerns. Gold price touches a 7-year high as more, and this was 4 days ago. Gold is up higher than that now already. At 1621, I can't believe we're seeing gold where we are right now. If you go to goldprice.org, you can track it and see it all the time. You can look at the 5-year, the 10-year, 20-year, and you can look at all data for gold. I love this site. I go to it every day. I also have an app that shows me this stuff. Today, gold is up $57. That's one of the biggest gains I've seen for gold in a day in a long time. Look, in 6 months, it's only up $90, okay? So in 1 day, okay, 20 years, you're up 450%, which isn't bad for something that doesn't have a lot of volatility. Like, you're not going to sit there and watch your portfolio go up and down all the time. You're just going to, every once in a while, see it move. Getting into the crypto space, for all my crypto lovers out here, I know you guys love your crypto freaks, crypto lovers, crypto addicts. Call you crypto freaks, right? You're freaks. I'm a freak, man. I love crypto. Okay. A Twitter user has posted an XRP chart showing a golden cross pattern, promising an imminent price surge. Meanwhile, 3 large crypto exchanges are moving gargantuan amounts of XRP between one another. Twitter user Gordon Gecko 369 has shared a screenshot that says the third largest crypto coin, XRP, has formed a bullish pattern called a golden cross. We were just talking about that. That's when a lower moving average crosses a higher moving average, like the 50 crossing the 200, especially on the daily. Very strong on a daily chart. Shows he expects XRP to soar well above 37 cents. That would be great. I'm holding a fat bag. A short while along, a golden cross was also noticed on Bitcoin charts. However, instead of soaring, the Bitcoin price dropped below the $10,000 level. XRP may head towards 46 cents as crypto traders turn bullish. I like to hear it, man. So who's moving all this, though? Why are the exchanges? The XRP Monitor reports that 2 astounding fund transfers have been conducted in XRP, totaling $41.6 million. That's $11 million, 41.6 million XRP. The data supplied by analytical website BitHomp says that the 2 top crypto exchanges, Binance and Huobi, and a smaller one, BitThumb, were involved. Wow. This is really upsetting. If you've ever watched Ivan on Tech, he's an awesome dude. He's really cool. Let me just duplicate this. And is this really true? Like, I don't believe everything I read, right? It makes me want to find it out myself. So here I go to Ivan on Tech. He just did like a really good show. It was, see, he's still good. He's still here. 2 days ago, though. But his channel isn't crazy. Like, he just talks about Bitcoin every day at 8 a.m. every day.
And we're live, guys. Welcome to another episode of Good Morning Crypto. Only here, only on opportunity cost wasn't as big. People started to sell. People started to move out of the market. They stopped hodling. So there wasn't a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Let me see. I'm going to actually have to get into this. But suspended on YouTube amid new crypto sanctions. It does look like he is suspended because he puts a video out every day. And now he hasn't put out a video in 2 days. And today he would definitely have put a video out because he would have been up at 8 a.m. and he would have made a video. So This is letting me know something weird is happening. How come Crypto RS gets to keep going? How come all of us? How come I keep going? It's pretty interesting why they chose him. I mean, he is one of the biggest channels, though. YouTube silences influencers until after Bitcoin halving. Why? The vlog of Ivan on Tech, one of the most influential crypto channels, faces another ban on YouTube. The suspension, which will also block one of the most influential daily live streams, will last until after the Bitcoin halving. YouTube has once again silenced one of the most influential voices in crypto, preventing Ivan on Tech from live streaming and posting new content. Based on other vlogger comments, the reason was a headline that triggered YouTube's algorithms for problematic content. The content in question was a price prediction of Bitcoin, stating that Bitcoin's price is going vertical. At the time of publishing, Bitcoin was indeed going upward, and the actual charts may have corresponded to the message. Other vloggers affected include Enter the Crypto Matrix, Chico Crypto, and an older account, Da Vinci. I know all these people. Da Vinci's great. Chico Crypto, I have my ins and outs with him, but I love that he goes on every day and he helps the space. So he was supposed to box Charles Hodgkinson, so that never happened. Having interest grows, but censorship remains a problem for crypto influencers. Crypto content on YouTube may also be facing political wars. Rumors are circulating about banned content based on attacking certain blockchains. Negative comments about the EOS blockchain has been rumored to be a reason for flagging content. Crypto communities may thus be one of the factors in a wave of flags and bans. At the same time, commenters noted that paid or sponsored content was rarely flagged, and YouTube algorithms did not specifically build a blanket ban. Instead, in commentary, and content has been rising in relation to the upcoming Bitcoin halving. Search interest boomed for the halving term, driving more viewers to do videos explaining the bullish case for Bitcoin. At this point, it is uncertain how the lack of new influencer messages will affect the actual market. So they think if we say it's vertical, it will go vertical. And because we're so big that he actually could help the price move. So they're trying to stop the price from moving by stopping his channel. This is interesting how social media, that's what I learned in the last bull run, how social media has a lot to do with the movement of Bitcoin and crypto. It's really strange. But if there's a lot of interest in something and a lot of people are talking about it, then you can see that it will actually move the sentiment. And if it moves the sentiment, it moves a lot of other people, and it makes you realize what's really happening in the market. So you can see a kind of picture more than stocks, because everyone in crypto is really, really a community. There's people die hard who go out every day and talk about it. So you can see a lot of its digital footprint, so to speak. And then that can almost give you an idea of the sentiment, which actually give you an idea of kind of a prediction of where it's going. But Ivan on Tech, if you're listening, if you ever heard my channel, I feel horrible. I support you. I think you're amazing. And I appreciate what you do for the space. So this is upsetting news for me, of course. Blockchain pioneer Caitlin Long to build a crypto bank in Wyoming. The U.S. may soon get its first dedicated bank for digital assets. A Wyoming corporation founded by blockchain legislative champion and Wall Street veteran Caitlin Long is prepared to apply for a special purpose depository institution chartered with the state's division of banking. The future bank is called Avanti, and it means forward in Italian, and it will be focused solely on providing regulated services for digital assets, Long announced on Monday. This is big news. Wyoming is the best state, maybe one of the best places in the world. They realized they've always been farmers, and farmers always hated bankers. So they got together and they said, you know what can we do to circumvent the banks? We can make a crypto bank here in Wyoming. So Wyoming. Say Wyoming 10 times fast. Wyoming. You can't even get past the fourth one. Try it. All right. Wyoming, I have to say it again now. With the company has yet to submit its application, it already has 8 products in its pipeline that are not currently available in the U.S. market. The only named one being custody for security tokens, because trust companies cannot custody securities under U.S. law. The SPDIs are uniquely positioned to fill that gap. Interesting. Very interesting. Avanti's balance sheet is planned to hold more assets under administration than deposits, and profits will be generated by providing services to institutional clients, similar to large traditional custody banks such as State Street, Bank of New York Mellon, and Northern Trust. Long described the business as money warehouse, right? Under Wyoming state law, SPDI banks must keep all customers' fiat demand deposits as liquid assets and cannot lend. However, these entities get to operate under the regulatory oversight of the crypto-friendly Wyoming Division of Banking instead of the U.S. Federal Deposit Insurance, the FDIC. FDIC isn't that great either. If you have $1 million, they only give you $250,000 of it. So that's why people with the $1 million have to open 5 accounts or 4 accounts and put $250,000 in each account. Avanti is partnering with Bitcoin and blockchain technology startup Blockstream, which will provide Bitcoin applications as well as the software and hardware needed to custody digital assets. Blockstream brings software for the Bitcoin protocol. Avanti brings a regulated delivery vehicle to deliver it into the US markets. With Blockstream Liquid, a sidechain or parallel network sometimes used to move money between exchanges, the company will be able, see, it's a lot of typos here. The company will be able to develop a one-stop shop for digital asset custody, said Blockstream. When in Rome, the setting was appropriate. When they spoke, Long walked between the imperial forums and the Roman forums. Then she saw the first time a rostra, a large platform for delivering speeches, a symbol of decentralized power where citizens gathered to debate and engage in commerce voluntarily due to the republic. With back, she talked about the need for big money, pension funds, endowments, foundations, corporations, and sovereign wealth funds to have regulated partnership to deliver services around Bitcoin. It's a $300 billion asset class, and they can't ignore it anymore. Their existing service providers aren't able to help them. That night, she landed on the name Avanti. It's a fitting name for a bank that's moving ahead, while also anchored in the history of sound money and clear property rights, she said. So yeah, this is awesome, man. You can read up more about it. I'm sure I didn't cover every single detail, but I just want to spark your mind, get you going, and get you into what's happening. Wyoming, baby. Paul. Thank you, Paul. Paul, I love that, man. Paul, man. Strong name. Paul. Like that. Let me give Paul a... Where's my... Yeah, there you go. Right back at you, Paul. I don't know what that other symbol was. I hit something funny. I'll give you some peace signs on that, though. All right. Thank you so much. Any comment, gets me going. You just made my entire day, Paul. So thank you very, very much. Yeah, recently a guy gave me $5 in XRP that actually went up because he gave it to me at around 18 cents. And that turned into $6. So I really think that getting tipped in XRP is cool. If you want to tip me, please do so. I'll show you my live stream right now. It's my live stream right now. Something fun. And if you'd like to tip me right here, these are all my Bitcoin addresses, my XRP, my Ether, my Litecoin, my Bitcoin Cash. Just use the tag. I like XRP the most because it's the easiest and fastest. If you wanna help it out. Well, it's kind of cool. Let's see what Fox News is saying. I'm not a huge supporter of Fox News. I just bumped into a live stream here. I just want to see what they're talking about. Oh, so they're just doing a live. Down 852. They're just showing you the DOW exactly as it's happening. And we will get back to the DOW. Don't get me started. We'll get back. We'll get back to the DOW. 650K worth of Tezos moved to Binance. Is this a sell signal? With XTT prices shaky after near perpendicular rise, the move, as per Twitter commentators, is a strong sell signal. That's the greatest thing about crypto. That's hard to find out in other things, is we can see through blockchain where money is moving. We can follow all the money. And we have what's called the whale alert on Twitter. I'm going to show you this. Follow me on Twitter if you're not, at CryptoLifer33. I just had a surge in new followers. About 200 people have followed me in the last week or two. Really, really awesome. I love this. Crypto influencer. I'm shorting indexes today on market open. Also, crypto influencer doesn't have a brokerage account of any kind and never has, and doesn't know how to trade options. Yeah, this is Jacob. He's super funny. He taught me a lot. He's basically my mentor. He took me under his wing a little bit. Every once in a while, he really helped me out when I was down and out as a trader or going through a lot of different things. See what Peter Schiff is saying. At least had I known about the seed phrase and written it down, I would have found a more secure place to hide it, or at least hide multiple copies in various locations. So the drug dealer loses $58 million in Bitcoin after landlord accidentally throws out his codes. Look at this. Between 20 and 11, Clifton Collins bought 6,000 Bitcoin using money earned from growing and selling marijuana, reports the Irish Times. At the time, the cryptocurrency price was between $4 and $6. Today it stands over $9,700. But Collins, who is 49, isn't enjoying any euphoria because his landlord threw out his Bitcoin codes. The Irish Times reports that Collins was arrested in 2017 for growing and selling marijuana and was subsequently hit with a 5-year prison sentence. Following this, his landlord sent many of Collins' possessions to a local dump during the process of cleaning out his room. One such item was a fishing rod case, which housed a piece of paper with 58 million in Bitcoin codes printed on it. Cryptocurrency is bought through so-called crypto wallets. Once you buy the Bitcoin, the crypto wallet issues you a code required to access it. Anyone who gets that code can access and potentially steal the cryptocurrency. So buyers are usually encouraged to hide their codes somewhere safe. Wow, he spread his 6,000 across 12 accounts to guard against losing his crypto fortune. He printed out the codes to his Bitcoin stash on a piece of paper, the same paper he stuffed in an aforementioned fishing rod case. I just feel so bad, man. And that's another thing that people don't realize, that Bitcoin's getting lost every day. So it's also adding to its deflationary asset, because not only is the halving, also because the halving creates inflation, because the halving creates inflation, deflation, and also people losing Bitcoin shortens the supply. It's sad when people lose Bitcoin, but it's a beautiful story, okay? Now, people are worried, well, what do you do with a seed phrase? Well, I have that figured out for you. You print out your seed phrase, right? And you split it into 3. And you give it to 3 people. Maybe your sister, maybe your dad, and maybe your best friend. That way, none of them could steal it from you if they were gonna, but you should trust those people. And also, if you lose it or anything happens, you just call each of them and ask them for that piece of paper, and they give you the 3 things. You better hope they don't lose the piece of paper. But that's a way to not have it everywhere and somewhere all at the same time. They're actually working on other ways with SHA, and basically algorithms, and there's other ways maybe you can hide pieces of it. But yeah, it's not for everybody, because you got to take responsibility. A lot of people just want to put their money in the bank. They don't want to be responsible for their own wealth. That's what happens once you start buying gold in Bitcoin. You realize that you are now your own bank, and you're responsible. You're responsible for what's going on. Please follow me here at samprice_remote_chief. I also have another account, CryptoLifer33, but this is my main account where I do a lot of my posting. I do a posting for my channel every day, kind of give you guys an ad. That way I kind of go over what I'm going to go over.
What's going on, everybody out there? You're with the
And then from there, you can go and hit my link and, go from there. Okay. But really sad to see Ivan on Tech shut down. Not cool. We showed you some patterns. We talked about gold. I showed you my JNUG trade that I keep harping on. What I'm going to do is see if we can get back into this 82, 84 region. That's where I'm going to scoop up a very large position, somewhere in the $10,000 region for JNUG again. I did sell up here this morning. I felt like it was time. I was part of this red move. I got what I wanted out of the move. I could see gold go up again, but there's always a retrace. Nothing goes up perfectly straight, even in a Black Swan event. So remember that, and, with a grain of salt, but so 800 Dow on the Dow seems to be kind of our bottoming out. Let's see. So you can see this is where we close on Friday. Here's the gap for the weekend. Here's where we open today. And then it did go down as low as 28, and it came back up. We got saved here by this moving average, as you can see. So, but this is not looking good. This white line, if this white line crosses the red line, that is basically the opposite of a golden cross. That's a death cross, right? And then if we get this 50, this is a 20. If this 50 crosses the 200, we're in bad shape. Where have we ever seen the 50 cross the 200? It happened right here, where the Dow went from 24 all the way down to 21. Took a nice little hit that December of 2018. So that's interesting. Where do we ever see another one where the red crosses the yellow? See right there, red crossing the yellow. All right, the red crossed the yellow here, but we came back up. Wasn't too bad. And again, I show people this all the time. If we go to the daily, here is the .com bubble right here, where here's the 08 crisis. This is September of 2007. We were doing great, and then slowly we started to crash into 2008. Boom. Only took a few short months, 3.5, 4 months basically, to lose 56% of the Dow from 14 all the way back to 6,500 lows. Again, here's the .com bubble. We were all the way up here at 11,685, and we eventually would come all the way down to 715. 34% retracement, not too bad. And then we are just printing money, boom, 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 like higher. Stock market has all-time high. Stock market all-time high. Stock market all-time. And now it just, it's like a balloon that keeps floating up into the sky. Eventually, it's going to hit the ozone and pop. And what happens? All the little pieces of the balloon are going to fall down to the ground. So that's all I'm saying. It's pretty clear for you to see. Now gold taking a bit of a retrace, okay? Selling off from its 1684 highs, going back to 1671. Maybe like, you know, everyone used the fear, they got everyone freaked out, and now they're kind of just, you know, I don't know, going over what's happening, figuring this out. Okay, go. Okay. Yeah, but that's where we stand. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. I'll be going live every morning around 8:30. I'm going to try to hit that time every morning. It's going to be my new time. And yeah, that way we can go over the market. We can watch the market open. Or maybe I'll start at 9 and I'll end at like 10:30, something like that. It tends to always go a little longer. One last thing, Tron CEO Gift called into question. I heard that he gave Warren Buffett crypto, but he says, I don't own any crypto and I never will. These were the words of American investment magnate CEO Berkshire Hathaway Warren Buffett. During a recent interview, Buffett clearly unimpressed by Tron CEO Justin Stuff Schilling a few weeks ago. Cryptocurrencies basically have no value. They don't produce anything. Many in the crypto community were in shock after Warren Buffett finally sat down to interact with Justin's son and many of the industry's top proponents, especially since he had previously called Bitcoin the world's largest cryptocurrency rat poison squared. However, while optimism reigned immediately after the charity launch, it would seem that the aftertaste has turned sour for Buffett, who is not pleased anymore. Buffett denied holding any cryptocurrency in his latest interview on CNBC. This comes after the 29-year-old founder of Tron's foundation, Justin Sun, poured his heart out on Twitter and claimed that he had gifted Buffett his first Bitcoin, which was stored on a Samsung Galaxy Fold. In fact, Sun's enthusiasm at finally meeting Buffett had no leaps and bounds, so much so that he transferred 45,678 Tron, equivalent to the auction bid, to the investment mogul, with an impressed Buffett sitting beside him. Sun even claimed that the investment mogul had invited him for a 2030 reunion. Who is telling the truth? While both the transactions appear to have been confirmed, there's no way to ensure that it was indeed received by Buffett. Or maybe it's not as bad as it looks. Maybe Buffett sold his cryptos for a currency of his own choice, USD. Okay, that does look bad. So that's just something to add to the table. Did he or did he not gift it to him? Why did Warren Buffett not want to just hold it? Speculation, you know? So went over the markets, went over that. I will be doing a live stream on the coronavirus tonight, approximately 9:30 tonight. I'll put an ad for it out on Instagram later if you want to follow it. I'll be covering what's going on, what I'm doing, how I'm preparing, and what sites I use to prepare, stuff like that. So if you'd like to know anything about that, we will keep that at night. We will keep the crypto stuff in the morning. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. If there's any last comments, I'm just going to wait it out for a second, see if anyone wants me to go over any asset that they're looking at, anything they want to talk about. $841.50 here. This is Tesla. Thought we were going to break out of this triangle, which we did at 796. So I still think we're going to go up. I don't know why in this crazy market, but there's a chance. We go back to 10,052, which is a gain of 15%. Now it would be 25 from 842. We went down under the overbought area, so we're kind of resetting. We do have a curve here on the MACD on the daily, meaning that this does have some downside coming to it. We got really high on the MAC, which is the moving average convergence and divergence. So we'll see. Sorry, I was going to leave, but I just had to check that out real quick. Yeah. I am looking at Atom again, though. I'm going to go back into Atom at one point. Just kind of getting ready to figure out exactly where and how and when. I like trading one asset over and over again. It really is like fun and more comfortable. It makes trading way better. If we can come back down to this trend line, but I think that was it. See, it tends like we like to stay in this middle area. So you have a bigger trend and a smaller trend. Looks like we bottomed in that middle area. So I'm going to kind of take a deep dive into that. I'll be honest, I'm a little shaken too by the Dow. As a trader, that just kind of throws me off, you know. A big day, big losses. So see how we're like in this, we're in a channel and a channel. Sometimes we spike out of it, but I just kind of. So here, we should come back down here. So 448, I'm making a call. That's when I would like to accumulate. I'm going to move my box. I think this is the new spot to get down. And 448. So place a buy order there or just watch and see what happens when it does get there, and we will go from there. But I'm talking about Adam at 448. That's my call. Let's check on Bitcoin right before we go. 9,700. As again, I think it's going to do this wedge and then it's going to pop out of it. 68% chance of a breakout. Coming up on the MACD, we have room to move on the RSI. The daily is looking very, very healthy for a nice move up to 11,000. So that's what I see for Bitcoin, unless some black swan event without the whole universe or the globe sends us into a spiraling decay. But the Dow still holding the $800 loss, but it didn't get worse. I thought maybe retail investors would sell off heavy and it could push us down to 1,200. We'll see what happens as the news comes out. We're only at 11:30 in the morning on a Monday, so again, we are getting down into that oversold region. There's a pop. There was a pop. There's a pop. So I think we got to come down to this white line. I think we need a little more downside. So we'll see what happens. All right, no more comments or questions. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. And remember, crypto is life.